Yes. Welcome to this Tuesday, February the 28th City Council agenda. I now call us to order. We will have a pledge of allegiance and an invocation, should she please, by Councilwoman Coonrod.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello. Thank you, Chair. Mr. Sylvester, will you come lead us in prayer, please?
May we bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we gather here to have a good meeting on Chattanooga. Help us maintain clarity and unity with the city, the council, and all the people that's involved. Let's all be one to make this city as great as it can be, because Chattanooga can be all it can be. Let's let the people that come to Chattanooga see that Chattanooga is a great city to visit. But let everybody, the people that's sick, that need a prayer, let the Lord put their hands on them to make it better for those that need that. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you, sir. There's no special presentation this evening, so now we will move into our order of business for your city council. Can I get approval of the minutes? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. There are no ordinances on final reading this evening, so now we will move on to ordinances on first reading. Madam Clerk, please read 6A.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 3820, 3834, and 3836 Hickson Pike from R1 residential zone and R4 special zone to C2 convenience commercial zone, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Mitchell, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've spoken to the applicant, and he is okay with the motion I'm about to make, and hopefully get your support. I make a motion that this is tabled.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to table. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries to table. Thank you, sir. Let's move on to 6B.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 1915 South Greenwood Avenue from M1 manufacturing zone to O1 office zone.
Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. I spoke with the applicant about this, and due to some language barriers and not being able to understand, his interpreter came in and explained to him, and they decided that M1 would be the best fit for them. So I would like to make a motion to remove this item. Withdraw. I apologize.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to withdraw, properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item C.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chattanooga, Tennessee, instituting a 180-day moratorium on the accepting and processing of applications for any new outdoor advertising signs and on the construction and/or installation of outdoor advertising signs, in addition to the conversion of existing signs and poster, paper, outdoor advertising signs to an electronic advertising or messaging sign within the city.
We have Councilman Smith, followed by Councilman Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. After doing more and more research in the short amount of time that I had, as I said at 3 o'clock today, I'm still not confident and comfortable that even the moratorium language truly does protect the city in the way that we were intending it to do so. Based on the Sixth Circuit Court judgment was really about the content of the signs themselves, and I don't know that we've really solved that. So I am hoping that the council will indulge me with a little bit more time, as I believe some language that I've been working on will allow us to cover our bases from that regard. and it is something that I am prepared to deliver to the city attorney tomorrow and the rest of the council for review. So with that, Mr. Chair, I would like to move to defer for 1 week, please.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded to defer till March the 3rd. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Item deferred until March the 3rd. Thank you, sir. Now we'll move on to resolutions. Madam Clerk, let's start with 7A.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a first agreement to exercise option to renew in substantially the form attached with Lookout Valley Recreation Association for the use of property located at 370 Warren Place and further identified as tax map number 144JB008.
Vice Chairman Henderson. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item B.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement to exercise option to renew for an additional term of 1 year with Dardanelle Long in substantially the form attached for the lease of the barn at Brown Acres Golf Course for the keeping of animals as consistent with zoning requirements with an address of 406 Brown Road on a portion of tax parcel number 158IG001.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item 7C.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a supplemental donation agreement in substantially the form attached, any related documents, and a quitclaim deed between the city of Chattanooga and Nippon Paint Automotive Americas, Inc. for the property identified as Lot 1 of Harriet Tubman subdivision and known as tax parcel number 136EA005 to provide for the acquisition of approximately an additional 26,000 square feet of land due to the loss of use related to the location of the Tubman Sewer Relocation Permanent Easement.
Councilman Burrs, followed by Councilwoman Coonrod.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item 7D.
A resolution acknowledging the disbursement of special assessments by the city treasurer for the Downtown Central Business Improvement District, CBID, in compliance with ordinance number 13498.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Okay, one nay. Motion carries. Item E.
A resolution authorizing the Chief Human Resources Officer to renew an existing agreement with Russ Blakely and Associates LLC to provide benefit advisor and open enrollment services and act as an agent of record for all benefit options at no cost of the second of two optional renewal terms beginning April 1, 2020.
Council, what is your pleasure? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item F.
A resolution authorizing the Chief Human Resources Officer to renew an existing agreement with ComSite Corporation to provide Employee Assistance Program, EAP, services to eligible city employees at the rate of $1.15 per employee per month for non-sworn employees and $1.49 per employee per month for sworn employees for the second of two optional renewal terms beginning April 1, 2020 for an approximate annual cost of $40,000.
Councilman Gilbert. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item G.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 1 for HDR Engineering, Inc. relative to contract number W16017-101 MBWWTP Solids Process Optimization Implementation Phase 2, a consent decree project for the increased amount of $159,282 for revised contract amount to $768,129.
Vice Chairman Henderson. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item H.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 4 to CDM Smith relative to contract number S15016-101 East Lake Water Quality Improvement Project for an increased amount of $87,000 for a revised contract amount of $768,800.
Vice Chairman Henderson.
Mr. Chair, this is in your district, but with no objections, I move approval.
Thank you, gentlemen. I have none. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item I.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 2 for CD Technical Services relative to contract number R15021-101, various parks ADA compliance for additional professional services in the amount of $9,400 for a revised contract amount of $190,800.
Councilman Byrd.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item J.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to award contract number W170220201 to IPR Southeast LLC of Stone Mountain, Georgia, Dobbs Branch Basin Improvements Phase 1, a consent decree project for the contract amount of $6,947,282.50 plus a contingency amount of $350,000 for a total project cost of $7,297,282.50, subject to SRF approval.
Councilwoman Coonrod, followed by Councilman Byrd. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item K.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to award contract number W170200201 to IPR Southeast LLC of Stone Mountain, Georgia, Dobbs Branch Basin Improvements Phase 2, a consent decree project for the contract amount of $9,148,525.50 plus a contingency amount of $450,000 for a total project cost of $9,598,525.50, subject to SRF approval.
Councilman Byrd, followed by Councilwoman Coonrod.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item L.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Youth and Family Development to renew a blanket purchase agreement with the Electric Power Board to pay client services payment for the citizens of Chattanooga that qualify for assistance under the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, and the Community Services Block Grant, CSBG, programs for a grant period of October 1, 2019 through September 30, 2020 without additional funding.
Councilwoman Coonrod, followed by Councilman Byrd. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item M.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Youth and Family Development to renew a blanket purchase agreement with Atlanta Gas Light Company to pay client services payment for the citizens of Chattanooga that qualify for assistance under the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, and the Community Services Block Grants, CSBG, programs for a grant period of October 1, 2019 through September 30, 2020 without additional funding.
Councilwoman Coonrod, followed by Councilman Byrd. You have anything you want to say, Councilman Gilbert? Okay. Excellent. If there's no further questions, all in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. That concludes this portion of our agenda. We will now move on to purchases.
Good evening, members of council. We have a few items of purchase for your consideration, all from the Department of Public Works. First item from Citywide Services, a blanket contract renewal for congregated metal pipe being awarded to Hagen & Stone Wholesale Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $60,000. Next, From the Fleet Management Division, we have a blanket contract renewal for Gamber Johnson Police Vehicle Equipment being awarded to On Duty Depot Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $32,000. Next, we have a blanket contract renewal for Citywide Services Division. It's for washed and crushed stone being awarded to Vulcan Material Company for a total estimated annual amount of $1 million. From the Parks Division, a blanket contract renewal for downtown landscape improvement and maintenance being awarded to Sykes Services LLC for a total estimated annual amount of $210,000. Next, from the Waste Resource Division, a blanket contract renewal for overhead crane maintenance and repair being awarded to Con Cranes for a total estimated annual amount of $100,000. From the Water Quality Division, a blanket contract renewal for water analysis services being awarded to Waypoint Analytical Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $55,000. From the Parks Division, a blanket contract renewal for protective footwear being awarded to Centus Corporation for a total estimated annual amount of $100,000. From the Waste Resource Division, 2 blanket contract renewals, mechanical services being awarded to H&H Brown and to Acme Industrial Piping for a total estimated annual amount of $3,500,000. And that
Councilman
concludes
Gilbert.
the lease.
Thank you, Chair. On PO 553093, the second one on the sheet, on the first page, I want to thank Tony for giving me information on that one, but I still would like to see, hopefully in the future, that we go in-house instead of sending this out to somewhere else. Because I think we can do a better job in-house than sending it to somebody else that's maybe not doing as fast as it could. And on the one on PO 553316, we got areas. I know this is for downtown, but we got other areas in the city. For an example, I know Councilwoman Coonrod is trying to get the area about a tunnel, Wilcox Tunnel, to be developed for flowers and things of that nature. I always say that it's more to it than Chattanooga downtown. So I hope that we can look into other areas that we can start putting flowers and trees and things of that nature, especially over there, because that's a low-hanging fruit, because you enter that tunnel. I think she agreed with me on that end, that we need to put that over there. So just not having fun just for downtown, but we need to look at the whole city in corridors to make them look more better. Because again, Chattanooga's Chattanooga, not just between two mountains. Thanks.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Russell. I do agree with that, and that's what you're talking about. It's been in the budgets of budgets. And we 2020 and we still talking about it. So hopefully it'll get done soon. But I got a question on this one with the downtown landscape. Now, would this take away from the services that the bid said that they were gonna do with landscaping and improvements, maintenance downtown, or we still will continue to do this portion of it, and in the bid will just add to what we're already doing?
This landscaping contract is specifically for the city's right-of-ways in the downtown area, as well as some of the properties that we've been maintaining, such as the Bessie Smith Hall and several other, the park areas, the Tower Park area where there is the greenery. We're looking at the maintenance, grass trimming, and other landscape maintenance that go along with those items.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You good, Councilwoman? Okay, Council, what's your pleasure?
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. If there's no further questions, all in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Okay, 1 nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Now we'll move on to other business. Is there any other business that the council would like to share? Councilman Anthony Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to acknowledge some people in the audience today. It's a hard task just being a council person and trying to make all the components work. I'm pretty sure you guys understand, but when you have a community that works together and works with you, it makes things a lot better. And today we have the steering committee for the Tubman site here that just are doing a wonderful job at just coming together and making sure we make this a great project. And we have Mr. Ken Smith, if you would stand up. We have Sylvester Harris, if you would stand up, Ms. Henley, and Ms. Johnny Ware in the audience today. So I just want to thank you guys for the work that you're doing and just for getting this project going. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman, and thank you all for the work y'all doing. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. Now, you know I ain't gonna let you leave my District 9 person out, although she wasn't on the committee and as far as being appointed to it, but she attended meetings, she shared her concerns, she sat and, you know, shared ideas, she made sure everybody was connected through email and made sure that the concerns, so Dr. Holmes, thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. Holmes. Thank you for that and all the other good things you do to help communities in our city. Seeing no other lights, we will now move on to committee reports. Councilwoman Burrs. Thank you. Councilman Byrd. Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Gilbert. Vice Chairman Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Legislative Committee convened today at 3 o'clock, agenda session. And at that time, it was motioned and second and voted on that we would go to a twice-a-month strategic planning meeting. Those meetings would begin at 2 p.m. and our agenda sessions will be moved until 3:30 on an every week basis. But the strategic planning meeting will be held twice a month, the first and third Tuesday of each month, and it will begin at 2 p.m. And I think that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman.
I'm sorry? Oh, I got that down.
Okay.
That will-
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Let's back up, y'all. Okay. There it is.
Those, this format will begin March the 17th, and we'll do a trial run for a 1 month period.
Okay. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Planning and Zoning will meet next Tuesday after our agenda session. That will be March 3rd.
Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We'll have a Public Works and Transportation meeting after planning next week, March 3rd.
Thank you, Councilman Mitchell. Councilman Smith. No report, Mr. Chair. Okay. I saw your light earlier, Councilwoman. Did you? Okay. Hit your light and, well, we'll do that. Okay, yeah. Well, that concludes committee reports. Now we'll back up to Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to appoint Shane Morrow to the Office of Multicultural Affairs.
Okay, got that? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, before we move on, I would like to announce that our March 3rd meeting, 6 o'clock meeting, will be at 4 o'clock. So please make note. We'll start 2 hours early. It's election day, and we want everybody to participate in that process and some of the many activities that'll be going on at that time. So keep in mind, the 6 o'clock meeting will be at 4 o'clock. Okay, with that being said, we come to our portion of the meeting where we have recognitions of person wishing to address the City Council. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the rules?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
At the end of each council business meeting, the chair can recognize members of the public who wish to address the council. Here's your rules. Each speaker wishing to address the council can be recognized only up front at the microphone that's provided for that purpose. No person shall have more than 3 minutes to speak. The speaker may address the council upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority and may not address the council under matters which are not under their authority and are regulated by other governmental bodies. Don't use vulgar or obscene language, nor use the floor to personally track or personally denigrate others, and make your comments to the council as a whole and not directed towards individual council members. And you can do so one time a day, and this is the time. Come on.
Thank you, Mr. Noblet. Is there anybody that would like to address the council this evening?
My name is Tiffany Rankin, Secretary of Lincoln Park Neighborhood Association. And since this is Black History Month, it's only befitting that I do come and speak with about the first African American park that was built for African American in the city of Chattanooga, and how basically it has not been put up for historic preservation. Lincoln Park was dedicated and built by the city of Chattanooga for the African American community in April 1918. It was the home of Southern Negro League baseball, established in every 1920 by the local Black entrepreneurs. Baseball brought the beginning of integration, Chattanooga's public facilities with Black players, including Jackie Robinson, Black fans being admitted to Ingalls Stadium. Although Lincoln Park was swapped by the city for other land parcel in the 1970s, in August of 2017, it was declared eligible for the National Register of Historic Places. CLG, Certified Local Government, has been in place for 30 years in the city of Chattanooga, which have been a partaker in federal funds, have chosen to systemically exclude African American sites in the city. They have not performed an area-wide survey to identify Black historical communities and resources such as City Coast City that should be preserved. They have not nominated Lincoln Park to the National Register, even though these are both their responsibility as a CLG. When will the city be in compliance with CLG? During Juneteenth last summer, the mayor acknowledged that discriminatory city policies in the past had been a cause for the unequal prospects for Black citizens today, like economic inequality and displacement. But since this is true, why hasn't the city implemented policies and project investments to redress the unjust disadvantages of the past and give Black communities a fair opportunity today? When will the city of Chattanooga do better? Many African Americans hoping for easy access as far as Juneteenth celebration, high school reunions, family reunions, and much more, call all the time asking for Lincoln Park.
Thank you very much for your comments. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? If not, we are adjourned.
Look at you. Look at you.